And I'm Kamwesas. Home, I mean, where I was born in Kenya. I was born in Kenya, Africa. My family moved here in '96. Then we moved around different places. Ended up in Columbus, and then eventually Canton for school. And
yeah, my family's originally from Michigan, and then we moved to Cleveland area when I was in 4th grade. And then I moved to Canton after that. So, I mean, after we both graduated, we were looking at moving, and like looking at grad programs. And there was some that we really were interested in, like in Portland or down in South Carolina. And we were like, yeah, let's get out of Canton for a while. But like the thing that really kept us from leaving was the community that we had with friends and with our church family, because we both grew up in the church, and it was very like a traditional church in the sense of like, you come on Sunday, there's like Wednesday night stuff that you can go to, but like we were able to be a part of something that was a little different, like a missional community.
I don't know if this is still applicable, but I used to say that Canton is like a mold, right? That like initially you're like, oh, it's like I don't want to be near that. It's like gross and disgusting and like, ugh. And then like the longer you stay, it becomes like infectious, and you're like, oh, this is actually like this is where I'm something is growing. It's growing on me, and I'm comfortable and I like it. And so that was like my description of Canton. That used to be back then. Now I'm just more like, I think it was the mission that I see people on here for revitalizing the city and for like seeing something new come from, dilapidated buildings and maybe forgotten neighborhoods. And it's the community that I've experienced. I think that was a main factor. I wouldn't have vocalized it that way at that time. I would have vocalized it like that, like a mold that grows on you, because I didn't have like the appropriate way of describing it. Corey and Rachel said we want to plant a church. We hadn't really been that connected in the way that we felt called to.
Corey and Rachel had like started like really thinking about what it would look like to like plant a church right in this neighborhood over here, hearing their hearts and like knowing that like we've done ministry with them for like so many years, and like it was a very easy yes for us to be like, we want to be a part of this, like we want to support you guys in whatever capacity that we're able to.
Corey and Terry and Brenda and Rachel had kind of dreamed this idea of having something down here, and this building was on sale by the city for $1, and I mean the Hunkas basically kind of went into it and said, hey, we want to put a bid in here. We want to buy this building. It's not really being used. We're gonna buy it from the city for $1. We'll rehab it. We'll renovate, and we'll use it, make it a usable space. But initially, Corey will tell you this, and Rachel will tell you they came in this place, and I didn't get to see it. You didn't get to see it when it was at that stage, but it was just trashed. I mean, there was just garbage and stuff everywhere. And there was a lot of work, a lot of people, a lot of volunteers that went into cleaning out this building and renovating it and making it so that it could be used. And then from there, it's just amazing to think about what we're sitting in now. Was just like, it was completely, unusable. God uses these spaces and things that we think are like unusable, and He makes it something beautiful. Where now, several years later, we're sitting in a useful community center with a church, and it's being used all the time, and it was bought for $1. So initially, that was the Martin Center. Just began as this dream of let's do something for the Southeast, the community that we love, and have come to love and grown to love. We're not from, but been welcomed into and grown to love.
We had so many people just like coming to us asking what they should be doing, and or like bringing a situation and asking like how can I like process this in a very real and like purposeful way. And like out of that we thought it would be really cool to almost put all those people in the same room for people to share their hearts, their dreams, and like what and how to make them into tangible realities.
Like right now, what we're doing with What's Next is is providing a space for people to ask that question, what is God saying to me, and what am I going to do about it? Because that could be something that people aren't used to. You grow up in church really asking those questions. We didn't really grow up, even in the traditional church, really having those questions asked. And so providing a space for people to safely ask those questions, process what that looks like, and start to look at their lives as less compartmentalized and more like God wants to be a part of all of my life. You can only point it back to say God has a hand in this because, again, there's this building that has been used for a lot of different things over the years. Old school, it was a technical school for a while, and then it was abandoned for a while, and it's kind of a blight, really, in the neighborhood. It's here for a while, and nobody saw anything in it. And then God put this vision into a few people's minds, like, hey, this is where I want to begin this thing. And from there, God used other people who came alongside and said, we are in with you on this vision. We want to join in with you on this. And so many, again, I can't stress enough, like how many volunteers and teams it took to bring this building back to where it is, because they were latching onto a vision that God had started. It's proof that when God has a vision for something, you can't put any limits on it. And so for me, it's a constant reminder that God wants to do that with our lives in every single area. God wants to rehabilitate and bring back to life the things we thought were once dead. And it's proof of that because I walk into this building and I see life happening all the time. I see people's lives being changed here all the time. From a building that, again, was once abandoned and just forgotten about. So it's a constant reminder to me of proof of what God wants to do, not just here in this neighborhood, but all over the place.